Hello everybody, this is Whiskey River here, and I've got another video about the Tyranno Titan on Path of Titans. And I hope you guys are having a great new year so far. This was the first weekend of the new year just passed, and I spent a lot of time on the Tyranno Titan, and man was it fun. So I'm trying to get all this content together so I can bring some videos to everybody. I had some great moments that I really want to share with everyone, and I've got those in the works, and I'll be dropping them throughout the next few days. I've just got so much content I'm going through, it's hard to get it all organized and together. But in this video, this one is about Tyranno Titan versus Tyranno Titan. Now, I've got a few fights that I did on Arizoa. The thing about the Titan v Titan is that it's kind of a dumb fight, really, because if you look at the profile, you don't even really have to fight. You guys can do kind of like a dancey dance and a little roary roar, and then if somebody forecalls, then you just go and hang out in the same POI. As long as you stay out of line of sight, then you're fine. And you can go about sharing the same POI, and you don't have to fight. And if you fight, you basically, even if you're the winner, you're going to come out of it at low health, and then you're at, less than desirable status to hunt or fight anything that might be trying to hunt you. So I don't really do these unless I'm like really bored, or it's a unique situation. I basically either forecall if the other one doesn't forecall first, or just leave the area if it's like an area I don't want to be in anyway. But when you do fight them, the thing about the Titan is that it's very versatile, and it's got a lot of tools. So you can set up a build that's really good for a 1v1 in a Titan fight, and that's typically the fresh blood with the defense call, and then the rugged hide. If you have those three on, you can usually win a face tank in a Titan fight if the other Titan isn't using those abilities, because you've got the extra damage with fresh blood, and then you've got the defense with the rugged hide. And then if you're using the anti-bleed and venom hide on top of it, you even have more defense against the Titan's bleed. So that'll typically win it if it's just a bite for bite face tank type fight. Now the thing is that, and that's how these builds are with the Tyranno Titans, is that one build that's very excellent for one situation, like the build that's excellent for the Titan v Titan fights, is not the best build. It's actually terrible for other situations. Like if you have that build on and you run into another Giga or a pair of Gigas, you're going to be, and you fight them, you're going to be in a bad spot because they're going to win. You need to really have the bleed build on to beat Gigas. So that's one of the advantages, is also a disadvantage for the Titan, is that you can switch the builds around for different situations, and on a lot of the community servers you can just lay down to switch your abilities. And so it's cool because it makes it versatile, but at the same time you can get caught, you can get stuck with your pants down, and and find yourself in a really disadvantageous situation. Now right here, this was a jump scare. I just got done, and then I hear the red herring, and you can see my health. I am not in any position to be fighting a Rex. So I got the heck out of Dodge. The Jack of all trade builds is this one here. This is the one that's like an all-rounder that you can take a look at. Just pause the screen on that one. You can see what I use, but it's basically blood soaked with the rugged hide, and then the blood chilling terror call, and then I've been using dash. You can use dash or juke, but I've been using dash a little more, and each one of them's good for different situations. But I've found if you know how to use the terrain, and use map knowledge and use the terrain to your advantage, the dash is fine because you can dash yourself to a spot. If you get caught by like some mid-tiers or some stuff that can outturn you, you can just use the dash to try to help get yourself to a good advantageous position, rather than having to rely on the juke. The juke does, you can really use that to surprise somebody, and you can use like hit a heavy bite and then juke. And if you do that, the heavy bite will usually land just right to hit whatever's chasing you. But it takes a lot of stamina to do that, and eventually they're going to start predicting it and using it. But um, that's the so either one is fine. But anyway, that's my jack of all trades build. Now in this fight here, I had Terrifying Presence and Fresh Blood, and I can tell he's using the Blood Soaked ability, so he doesn't have Fresh Blood. So I'm banking on the fact that my DPS is going to out DPS him, and I don't think I need to use Terrifying Presence. But you can see how close it came. I probably should have popped Terrifying Presence there, and it would have helped me a little bit more. But that came down to one bite, and I barely survived that one. On this fight, I saw him coming up, so I was able to lay down and switch out to my Titan v Titan build, and now I'm just going to see what he has. Now, but really, in this scenario here, it was the end of the night, and I was just bored, and I was getting ready to log off, so I figured I'd get one more fight in. But normally, I just either forecall, or if they don't forecall, so that I don't fight. So if they don't forecall, I will. And then that way we can share the POI and maybe be able to mob a log neck or something like that. There's really no point in fighting a Titan fight because you guys are just going to be rolling around at low HP and ready to be picked off by, something else. So I try not to do them. So at this point, I know that I've got my defense call and they don't have theirs, and then they've got Frenzied Terror on and I have Heavy Bite. So I'm in a really good setup to have an advantage in this fight, and I'm confident I'm going to win, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it out rather than forecall. Here I'm just moving as little as possible and trying to get him to move more than me so that my bleed is hurting him more than his bleed is hurting me. Now I think, really, to be honest, I think this player actually probably got more hits on me than I did on it, and they probably outplayed me a little bit in terms of bite for bite, but it was the build that really helped me. Having the Heavy Bite and then having Frenzied Terror, I think, was what tipped the scales in my favor. I was also able to get him to run a little more than me, and then in this part here I used dash to get a bite on him and force him to miss all of those Frenzied Terrors. So there were situations like that that I think tipped the scales in my favor slightly on this fight. Now, in a Terry normally, like, running around like this could be considered dragging out a fight, but I really think it's a bit different with the Titans because of the way that their play style is. It's a bleeder, so you do need to bleed stuff and run it around. So I think as long as I'm doing this kind of thing where I'm turning around and going back and he's doing the same as me, and you can see we're sort of running around together, I think that's okay. But we'll have to see what the moderators say about this. But I think this is a good interaction, and it's not drawing out the fight, considering the type of build, the type of dinosaur that we are. If they end up saying that this is drawing out the fight, then I'm just never gonna fight a Titan. Then I'm just gonna, forecall and share the POI if possible. It is getting towards the end of the fight here, and I'm considering calling, but by the looks of him, I think that they've got more scarring on them than I do, starting to show on his face. And so I think I do have an advantage here. So I'm just going to keep at it. And then he calls. So that's the fight. It was a good fight. And good example of how to do a Titan fight. But like I say, I try to avoid them. And then this is the last fight here as an example of when you have the Titan set up on, the Titan v Titan set up on, and the opponent does not. I've got Fresh Blood and Terrifying Presence, and you'll see that this other player has Blood Soaked, and I think they were using the Blood Chilling Terror Call. And so I've got definitely an advantage in the fight here, because I'm going to be taking less damage and doing more damage to them. As long as I don't run around and avoid the bleed damage, I'll definitely win the fight. Now I know I just have a better build on at this point for this fight, so I'm not really trying to dodge anything, though I guess I should be. But I'm just trying to force a face tank here because I know I'll win that. I don't know, sometimes dodging and weaving and bobbing and weaving like that can actually cause you to miss bites. So since I know I have a superior build for this fight, I'm just going to go ahead and gamble on the face tank. So that's the Titan v Titan video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for some more Titan videos coming up. And I appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like and comment if you have any questions, of course. And I hope to see you out there in Gondolin. Goodbye.